Norwegian child welfare or Norwegian terrorism. Norway has signed, accepted and implemented human rights as defined by the European Court of Human Rights, ECHR. Human rights are described in articles called the ECHR, European Convention on Human Rights. Today, there are 30 cases in line. Norway has already lost 8 out of 10 cases that have been for ECHR since 2018. All cases before the ECHR must have been dealt with or rejected by the Norwegian Supreme Court. In practice, this means that all cases in which Norway is convicted also apply to the Norwegian Supreme Court. No country in the world has more cases in the ECHR than Norway at the time of writing this. The government's lawyer, Mr. Emberland, has publicly admitted in 2020 that he believes that Norway will lose the pending 30 cases in the ECHR. 38 out of 40 cases. In other words, Mr. Emberland believes that the Norwegian Supreme Court will be convicted in 38 of 40 cases. According to the ECHR, this makes the Norwegian Supreme Court Europe's most criminal court. In all cases, the Norwegian Supreme Court is convicted of violating the human rights law of kidnapped children. To legitimize the industry child welfare service has become in Norway. Among other things, the Norwegian government and the Norwegian Supreme Court are criticized for not complying with the rulings of the European Court of Human Rights. Who is right? The foreign press calls the Norwegian child welfare service organized crime, while the Norwegian government calls it the world's best child welfare. Judge for yourself. 3,000 annual armed police actions against children. As a rule, with the consent of the County Administrative Board to the Supreme Court. Pedocracy. This usually happens without warning and with as many as 12 armed police present, in addition to child welfare employees. Armed police have become standard. The basis is easy to understand. It shocks the family and gets the whole family into panic mode. Humans are not rational in such a state. It acts as an alibi for the abuses that are carried out. At the same time, the police are important witnesses for the child welfare service. Profit is achieved through collaboration. Profitable transfers are related to such assignments for the police. The police themselves decide how many officials. 10 police officers gives 10 times higher profit. In other words, the more police, the higher the income for the police. Political will. Do the police have orders to shoot children, or are children considered potentially dangerous to the police? For example, 3 child welfare workers and 6 armed police against a 10-year-old. What is the purpose of the police's use of weapons in child welfare cases? Aren't 9 adults against a 10-year-old enough? 10-year-olds in such situations are usually handcuffed. Beyond intimidation, what purpose can such a massive and outrageous turnout have? Why has this become a standard routine from the police and child welfare? Why are the methods similar to Nazi methods? Why is the Pentecostal church overrepresented in all stages of what must be called the child welfare industry globally? Why is the company Pentecostal Church to be found in all kinds of state-sponsored organizations and foundations? Why does the Pentecostal Church have the most foster and emergency homes in Norway? Some claims, but first a short advertising break. Child welfare children have a 27 times higher risk of being killed than the rest of the population. More than 21 times higher risk of dying from drug-related problems or mental problems. Child welfare children have more than 7 times higher risk of dying from poisoning. And almost 5 times higher risk of ending their life in suicide. Even when looking at cancer, or the body's circulatory system, the mortality rate is 93% and 536% higher among child welfare children, respectively, than the rest of the population. If you look at education, the numbers are just as frightening, where 8% of child welfare children take higher education, against 45% of the rest of the population. The government of Ernest Solberg. During Ernest Solberg's term as Prime Minister, 1,000 children have died. 1,000 children have died under Ernest Solberg's care. A necessary economic evil. Is Ernest Solberg present at these children's funerals? New almost every other day. The fact is that Ernest Solberg is Europe's most dangerous prime minister for children. ECHR has confirmed this. Foster parents receive over $50,000 a year per children, plus the child benefit, plus just under $10,000 for consumption cost per children. If the children are returned to their family, the foster home loses the money. What obvious incentive does this create for corrupt actions? Among other things, a very lucrative trade in children. The absurdity of the Norwegian politically correct attitude to child welfare is, in the absence of better words, unintelligent and self-glorifying. Unintelligent in the form of stupid. Self-glorification shown in the form of exposed lack of self-insight. Total lack of understanding of one's own role in contexts. People with self-awareness had realized that such organs of society, which kidnap and destroy families, are not very good for oneself and one's own life, whether the police and child welfare are inside the living room or outside the door, threatening from out there. Bremen 2 January 2021. Mr. Bowen. My name is Kevin. Thanks for listening to me.